Alright guys, this is a video response on my favorite tree. I picked the honey locust. It is easy to notice for sure. The Latin name for it is Glydicia tricanthos. Very easy to recognize. It has thorns covering it all down the bark, all over the branches. So it's very easy to recognize. Let me get a little closer and get a better shot. This is something you don't want to bump into in the woods in the middle of the night. They have thorns sticking out the branches all over, and they're just covered in these. And there's one way to recognize that tree. Another way is they grow these pods. These seed pods. They normally look like a green bean when they're green, just full of seeds, and there's a sort of meat in the center of them. I'll say, so that's one way you recognize the tree. That, the thorns, you really can't miss it. Now if you hold on for just a few seconds, I'll take you someplace I can set down this camera, get a better shot, and explain to you why it's my favorite tree. Okay, the reason why I like the honey locust tree is I'm going to start with these little thorns it puts off. One thing I use these for, I keep them in my fire starting kit all the time. I turn them into needles. Put a little hole through there. And when I do that, I look for the ones that have double barbs, on each side. If you snap those off, you can put a hole straight through there. And then of course, I always take the bark off, makes it smoother, and they work pretty good. I've actually been able to punch those through the leather. They're pretty stiff. And then I've also been able to make fish hooks, which can come in very handy. And what you do is you put a little groove right around this edge here, and then you can tie a fishing line right on there and have yourself a little makeshift fish hook, and they work. Plus the meat that I was telling you about, which is also known as like a pulp, which is this white fluffy stuff in here, you can use that as a sweetener in your coffee and tea. Let's say it actually has a high sugar content. The seeds that are in the seed pods are protein. You can eat those too. And then, as I showed you before, is what these pods are that grow on the tree. So if you listen, you can actually hear the seeds inside there. Now, all dried up like this, they're not as good. You want to get it in the summertime. Say another place, this is a sewing kit I made. Another place I keep one of them needles that I made is in my sewing kit. Nice big one for punching through some leather. There's a bone needle that I made. But I find this tree very, very useful. Gives me protein, sweetener. I can sew my clothes back together with it if I tear something open by walking past one of these trees. I can fish and catch me food, and then I can also use the tree to burn to cook the fish that I caught from the thorn from the tree. So there you have it. I find this to be one of the more useful trees I've ever come across. So that's why it happens to be my favorite tree.